Sometimes, the path of our lives becomes dark, empty, thorny, and rocky, and the only thing we hear is that pin drop silence, silence loud enough to be ignored. We look around, and the only thing we see is a cage. From different schools of thought describing life and purpose, many systems have their own way of describing life. From religion to philosophical terms and even science, people attach themselves to any of these to understand the meaning of life and why they exist. Unfortunately, at some point in life we get shaken. We get that blow, or as religion would call it, we get tested. That time and point when darkness overshadows light and your brain can't even see little sparks of hope. The only thing that comes in mind is, why should I continue existing? Do I matter? Do people care? Your path becomes narrower and lonely. That one life you treasure to the extent you longed for the next day now becomes a burden, and you only feel angry. The night gets longer and the days become meaningless. The night skies no longer looks beautiful like it used to. The flowers look dull, and the usual exciting days become mundane. I'm talking about that moment when George Sanders decided to write to the world, "Dear world, I'm living because I'm bored." For sure, it seemed boring, and at that moment in time, the only solution he saw was ending something precious: his life.
Suicide is very common in our society, but it's unspoken. And it's good to be honest, it's very difficult to explain what it is and how it looks like.
We joke about mental health and ignore the fact that a person dies every 40 seconds of suicide.
Mental well-being is brought about by a combination of factors. Your physical well-being, your social well-being, you see, your psychological well-being, and your spiritual well-being.
And how does this affect us?
Mental health affects the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. If you're not mentally healthy, definitely your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors will not reflect a normal person. So a person who is sick, let's say depression, they have thoughts of hopelessness, they have a lot of guilty feelings, maybe they did something wrong, and this has caused them to have feelings of hopelessness, and definitely their behavior will lead to suicidal ideation. So suicide is the end result of a disease that's killing you. For example, a disease that kills you, probably a chronic disease like diabetes, it has signs and symptoms. Eventually, if you don't take care of the signs and symptoms, you end up dying.
You can be walking healthy, but within yourself you're dying. And mental health wellness, according to WHO, is not an absence of an infirmity or a disease. You can be unwell, that is sick, okay? But you're enjoying your, the full health or the full wellness of mental well-being.
Someone will ask, who contributes to this moment of darkness? Do people get to that rock bottom alone?
In our society, we are trained to stir up, okay? Behave yourself, not to show emotions, okay? I might be suffering, but I cannot show her that I'm suffering because I'm supposed to be a man enough.
The society has also placed a lot of pressure on people, which even makes it hard. We have all these things that we assume society wants us to complete by this age, and then we put a lot of pressures on ourselves.
And it's very bad in our society that suicide is a criminal offense. Why would you criminalize somebody, yet you don't know what they have been suffering underground?
Apart from the societal pressure, we can also say that some childhood traumas and some experiences that you have in life, some traumatic experiences. Let's say someone went through sexual abuse as a kid. That trauma, they hold it in their body for a long time, and then probably they're triggered in future, and then you just hear someone decided to commit suicide. everyone can be a victim of dying by suicide.
You wake up and wear a socially accepted face, that broad, beautiful celebrity smile that lights everyone's world.
We are wired to be happy. We all, every now and then you wake up, we are going to look for something that is going to make you happy. Even the people who take drugs, they do it to avoid pain. In most cases, that pain, psychological pain that is not seen, people will convert it into a physical pain. I would rather die in 10 minutes and solve the whole pain that I will be suffering.
And yes, you love and dislike it. In a world full of masked faces, nobody notices each other's genuineness.
The best way to find out someone is having suicidal ideation is to ask them. Trust me, people will talk. Just ask them, have you contemplated suicide? And then they'll be like, wow. Or are you thinking of killing yourself? That will be like something you've relived from. And when they start talking, they'll experience catharsis and they'll find more solutions. You know, my cousin once told me that I don't know how therapy works, but once you talk, you just feel good.
Now, the worst comes in when you want to describe it to the person next to you. And then fear, insecurity, anxiety, and mistrust grasp you.
So when it comes to trying to deal with a client with who's going through suicidal thoughts, you first try to understand their thought content. What is it that is going through their mind? Why are they feeling like this is the only solution to life? Why do they see that, you know, in a problem, so when you're trying to solve a problem, there are many branches, so there's solution A, B, C, D. Mbona ya naona maybe B is or E is the solution, you know, why can't we do B or E? So let's go find out the thoughts. We're not trying to change how she's thinking, but trying to improve the quality of her thoughts. We also encourage the client to, you know, positive self-talk. It has been shown to improve a person's well-being, you know, trying to be, trying to improve your self-esteem through positive words, because probably outside everything that was being said to you was negative. As a society, let's practice kindness, and also let's try to educate ourselves about this thing called suicide. Try to learn and unlearn what you know about suicide. Sio uchawi, sio mapepo. It's not that that family is cursed or something. This is something that we can all prevent and work together towards improving.
And the big question is death by suicide preventable?
I'm also a suicide survivor. A few of my friends know that.
Look around. We have survivors. People who focused on the light in that very moment of darkness and they made it alive. People would tell you that suicide is not an answer. It's a distraction.
First of all, it's okay to not be okay. The fact that you have gotten to the point where your thoughts are way too loud and they're telling you that you can't see another day, there's no solution. You're not alone in that as well. And there's always one person that you can reach out to.
The solution could not be outside you, it could be within yourself. However difficult, you are brought in this world to solve a particular problem, and you'll never solve it by taking your life.
Reach out to the God of your understanding, and He will provide you with like the good orderly direction. That's what I understand God means, good orderly direction.
And whatever you're going through, it might be irrational to another person, but it's very rational to yourself. Keep on telling that story in a very different way. Turn it from a victim mentality into a warrior and a heroic mentality.
Sure thing, just like Jamie elaborated. This life, this night, your story, your hope. It matters. All of it matters.